This is not a message of peace, and so I'm not going to start with the peace greeting. I'm talking to the self-titled B1 camp, the insincere pro-blacks who rightfully need to be called pro-wacks, the fake militants, the no-tips. This is coming from an old school who really is pro-black. This is coming from a man who not only changed his religion once from Christianity to Islam, but actually changed his religion 2 times. This is coming from a man whose final religious conversion to Islam was also a very pro-black decision. This is coming from a man who lived it from even before the teens, but definitely so after the teens, whose life was changed the most by the autobiography of Malcolm X after the Quran. This is coming from a man who read the Quran because of the autobiography of Malcolm X, who learned about it from the autobiography of Malcolm X. And for some of you anti-bronze and anti-light-skinned Negroes talking about you're pro-black, Malcolm was very red. His hair was very red. Now that the one and only original Cookie Monstarr has pretty much blown the lid off of this, and I'm still listening. It's 8 hours long. I admit I'm not even done. But now that she has blown the lid off of this, let me explain this to you. The line is in the sand. You niggas are now enemies. Now, previously, I didn't treat you all as enemies. Nyla says, even though you don't know me and I'm a nobody to you, you're an enemy. And so is your camp and everyone that supported you. Black Women's Fear, you're an enemy. Cocaine Kills, you're an enemy. Super Sly, you are an enemy. And everyone that supports you, ignorant ass niggas. You are not black first. You are effing race traitors. You are the epitome of race traitor. You were willing to sit up here and dox people that weren't taking you as enemies and who had not done the things for which you were going to say that they did them. You had these plans to falsely accuse and also dox people and already did it to some of them. You niggas are enemies. You see, sometimes we like to say, well, that sounds like an agent. And we like to talk about, in our community, we had to deal with agents. And in New York, they found a very, very easy way to locate agents. That was very easy. In New York, they located agents back in the days, the old days. They located agents by simply going to these county courthouses and listening to the testimony in these cases of undercover officers. Legally, they were allowed to do that. And undercover officers had to provide testimony. And they would sit up and they would say, okay, you know what? That's an undercover officer, but he was down at this meeting later. So they got the names of undercover officers. And they didn't kill them, but they would say, this nigga can't be with us no more. Now, confidential informants were a different story. That was something else. Confidential informants, they did get away. And they were oftentimes the ones that set us up. The other thing to understand is that when you talk about who is an agent, you see, every agent does not know he's an agent. The Mossad, which really that's not even its official name. The Mossad, which has no official name that we know of. As a matter of fact, the closest to it would be the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. That's the closest name you could find to match it. And that would be ISIS. That would actually match ISIS, ironically, right? Well, see, the Mossad is so serious that even without one official name, they actually cross-train with the CIA. They're that good. And let me tell you this too, the Mossad cross-training with the CIA. Oh man, those guys are something else. Because see, most Mossad employees don't even know that they're Mossad, so they don't look for a salary from it. They don't go requesting that they get their check, their cut, their pay, because they don't know they're working for the Mossad. The Mossad agents who know that they are Mossad are highly trained to get people to do work for them without even knowing that they're helping out the Mossad. Now I want you to stop and think about that. That's the Mossad for you. Those guys are not to be played with. They are on it. The Mossad knows what they're doing. So you guys are like those agents that don't even know they're working for the Mossad. You sat up here and helped some white supremacists and never took a check from one of them. You don't even know who you're helping. You're helping them out. You're helping out those who want us behind bars for things that we didn't do. Discredited because of an idea that we're giving that might actually do something for us that they don't like. That's who you are. You guys are sitting up here running smear and frame campaigns and doxing campaigns on people who didn't commit crimes and trying to link them to us. See, Boogie, nigga, you're an enemy too. I'm sick of you niggas. You wish we were behind bars for crimes we didn't commit. I wish you niggas were dead. Because you see, and for some of you who are in the so-called pro-black but anti-light-skin camp, let me explain something to you. One of the things about having white blood is that I also have their instincts. I'm capable of holding a grudge. Most black people don't. This is known worldwide. In the Arabian Peninsula, they look up to us for not holding grudges. I had to stop them and tell them, nigga, I have some of your cousins' blood in me. Your white cousins that you look up to. I got some of their blood. I hold a grudge. You call him a slave, nigga? You and I enemies. And I don't count you as Muslim. Now, that's a serious thing to say to some of these cats. So now you're up against somebody that does hold a grudge, and you don't know who I am. Because frankly, I don't even have the same legal name with which I left the States. So even if you dox me, the worst you would probably do would be to dox my relatives, and that's bad. So trying the attempt to dox me would actually dox relatives who don't know anything about this Black Heart, Black Mind channel. You would be getting people who are completely uninvolved involved. And there isn't a court in the States that would blame me for taking drastic measures to protect them from niggas like you, simply based on our phenotype, if you really think that there's such a thing as light skin privilege. If you really think so. Now, if you don't believe in something like that, and you tried it, you dox my relatives, then okay, I can't really do anything drastic and get away with it. But do you think I care about getting away with it at that point? Man, you forget. I don't wear handcuffs. God forbid. What I mean is I don't answer to white people for things that I do in favor of black folks. And one of the things I have said is that this religion is true, and that's a dangerous enough, politically speaking, dangerous enough statement to make. This has already gotten me run out of the States before. Had some white supremacists doing the same old thing. And this is why I can't stand you sellout ass, not really pro-black niggas. She just gave, now I'm still listening. I haven't listened to everything. I haven't seen any other image as of yet. So if she posted papers and receipts, I'm going to find out as I listen. It's going to take me about a week to listen to the whole thing. But right now, from what I understand in the very beginning, you niggas were doing the exact same goddamn thing as a white supremacist outfit that was going to come after me. And some of them even told me, actually, we already have enough to lock you up for 3 years. Now, if you didn't commit a crime at all and they tell you they can get you locked up for 3 years, they're just sitting on it because they're trying to get you locked up for 30. Do you know what that means? That means they're going to get someone to lie on you. They just got to find someone whose lies can't be exposed in a cross-examination and proved to be perjury. That's what that means. And you niggas were sitting here with the same step. The step they took before. So that means that your next step was to go and get people who are willing to lie. And she might even expose something like that if I listen long enough. I think she did say that some of you were doing this. If that really is the case, you niggas are despicable. Doing exactly what white supremacists do. Who taught you this? Now, I've sat up and watched you guys with your pseudoscience, your fake philosophy, your misinformation, your whack-ass inaccurate memes all over the internet and all over any form of social media. Talking about all kind of crazy stuff from we got an army and an air force in orbit around the planet, all the way to we don't come from Africa, but we're the Moors who civilized Europe. Make that make sense. I've watched you niggas with all this ignorant stuff, and you don't listen to anybody. Nobody can tell you. As soon as someone tells you actual evidence, you'll say, but you can't believe the white man. Yeah, well, you usually can, but everybody believes a confession. That's why they call them confessions. I mean, yeah, if I sit up and tell you I'm not God, obviously I'm not God, because that's a confession. That's not a boast or a brag. They sit up and they tell you they kidnapped you and took you somewhere else, and you still have some old West African language words in your slang today. Dumb nigga, that means they took you from there. And I'm sitting up and watched you niggas for the last, I don't know how long. You sit up and you say that Islam is something bad for black people. If you ain't going to be Muslim, fine. But how dare you niggas sit up and say that it's something bad for black people because of the Arabs? When it was actually black folks in tropical Africa who took it on willingly themselves, starting with the business people and the kings, established people, not your regular rank and file bums. By any definition that started off with this. No, rather they learned it from people who knew more than them, which is actually one of the best ways. You niggas want to take pseudoscience from the jailhouse to the White House. Not even science, but pseudoscience. The black man is God and the black woman is the earth. A God with a doctor's appointment and debts they can't pay. A God with convictions for crimes they did and did not do because the devil set them up. How you gonna insult God like that? We are done with civility at this point. Now, I'm not going to try to dox either one of you that has not yet been doxed. And I'm not going to cam up, nigga, cam up. I'm not doing that and exposing myself because there are other people I got to look out for. And like I said, that would actually make me famous, and I don't want that. I want the message to be famous. And even to you niggas I can't stand, I'm going to tell you the truth. Even though it's not convenient for me, you could change and repent and get on the right track. And I would be bound to tolerate that and accept it. I could not take you as an enemy anymore if you did it, and I would not want to. But I know, I know you're not going to do it. I've already bet somebody money, and gambling is forbidden in my faith, but you want me to confess to a sin. I bet somebody money that not one of you was going to turn over a new leaf, say, you know what, if I'm going to really be pro-black, I need to be like seriously pro-black and stop messing around with other black people because they're not willing to stay with the effery and the dysfunction that is the community. Not even the black community, but the nigger community. I'm going to pause this now because I actually have a job, and it starts in 2 minutes. Part 2 coming soon, inshallah.